One thing that can severely limit our happiness if we haven't grasped this concept yet, or conversely, something that can dramatically improve our lives if we do understand it, is the concept of be it to believe it. So what does that mean? Sometimes in life, if we want to move from where we're at to the next level of consciousness, to the next level of experience, we have to choose to actually embody and be what we believe we are before the external evidence will suggest it. Ego, fear, always says, well, I'll only believe it when I see it. I'll believe it when I see it. And your higher self, love, says, I'll see it once I believe it, because you're powerful. Here's a few personal examples of that concept from my own life. In high school, I was positive that I was inherently terrible at math and that there was nothing I could do about it. And indeed, it was the only class that I was at risk of failing, particularly algebra. I hated algebra. It made no sense to me. Well, one day I'm sitting there in class and I'm not understanding a word the teacher's saying, like nothing. He's like speaking, and he may as well have been speaking a foreign language that I didn't speak. And I was feeling like I was going to start crying. And in the past, when I'd asked the teacher questions, he acted like I was really dumb, or I was bothering him, or I was holding up the class. So at this point, I didn't even dare raise my hand and tell him that I don't understand what you're saying. And it was a miserable feeling. And somewhere inside of me, this gentle prompting from my heart, from spirit, perhaps my own inner guide, it just rose up. And I had this peaceful feeling. And it was to write in bold letters on my math binder, I am good at math. So I did it. And I looked at that every single school day. I didn't even know about affirmations then, but I just did it. And I read it every day for the entire semester. And by the end of the semester, I had wired my brain to believe that I was actually good at math. And I was actually getting A's in all my math classes. And it was actually making sense to me. And then in college, I had a college professor tell me in front of the entire class that I was responsible for ruining the bell curve, because while the rest of the class, all of them had scored under 40% on a really tough statistics exam, I had gotten 100%. I hadn't missed a single question. So he couldn't adjust the scoring to help out the other students so that they passed the exam, because I had proven it was possible to get a perfect score. So you can imagine the icy stares that I was getting from the other students. Oh my gosh, never had I been so embarrassed to be so good at math. And in retrospect, it's a little weird that my professor felt the need to announce that to the entire classroom and blame me for why they were failing that exam. But anyway, the main point is that by shifting my mindset, I became a really excellent student in something that had previously been my weakest subject. How? Be it to believe it. Here's another example. I had been working unsatisfying jobs in retail and call centers that were definitely not utilizing my talents. I knew that I was a good writer. I knew it in my heart. I'd been reading books voraciously and writing since I was in first grade. But I didn't have much published work other than a couple minor articles that I'd written for free for obscure publications. But still, in my heart, I knew who I was, and I knew that I wanted to be a writer. And I didn't want to keep having to call people in Georgia and asking them how they felt about their power company's customer service. It just didn't feel like the best use of my gifts and talents. One day, I woke up and I had this feeling just inside of me, just wanting to express. And I felt like I should just declare it out loud. And I did. I still remember standing in my living room where I lived at the time saying, I am a writer. I am. And when people would ask me what my profession was from that day forward, I would say, I'm a writer. Yeah, I had this other job, but I was a writer. And from there, I started looking for and applying for writing jobs, even though my writing portfolio was pretty laughable at the time. And then I even started getting referred paid writing work because I had told a friend that I was a writer, and he told another friend who was looking for a ghostwriter that he knew a writer, and it was me. He knew I was a writer because I had told him I was a writer. I had decided I was, and I was telling people when they asked. I got a job writing product descriptions for a skincare company. And it was nothing glamorous, but it was fun. And I didn't care because at least I was writing. And then I started getting other writing gigs. I started writing for a popular science website. And all of a sudden I had my articles being published in Reuters and USA Today and a lot of other popular media outlets. I was even a featured writer for PBS. And I had literally millions of people reading my articles. So truly, I had gone from waking up one day and just randomly deciding I was a writer and stating that I'm a writer, becoming a writer from the inside out, to being a writer as an undeniable fact in the external world. And then I became the head writer for an Inc. 500 company, and I helped them create some really amazing content. I worked with really amazing people there. I was already working my dream job, and I was still in my 20s. None of that would have happened if I hadn't just woken up and decided, I get to decide who I am. And that taught me really early on that you have to choose to be it to believe it. Do not wait for the outer external world to tell you or show you who you are. That's your job. Your job is to tell and show the world who you are. It's not the other way around. Be it to believe it. I could give you dozens more personal examples from my life, how this works in really amazing ways. But to keep this video short, I'm going to skip to the chase and just put it out there. Let's each of us commit to openly, without embarrassment, being who we authentically truly are, even before the world gives us permission or evidence to be who we know we are. And I'm not saying that we should ever lie about our achievements. I never did that. But it truly was my decision to be a writer, to choose that. And the moment that I decided I am a writer, I became one. Because now that was out there. And now I was open to the opportunities that would start to flow to me because of that choice. Claim who and what you are and be bold about it. Because no one else in the world is going to do that for you. That's your job. And you're an amazing person. And I want to see it. I want to see who you are. You show me. Thank you for joining me today. I'm Beck Sato. I'll see you soon. Love you. Mwah.